Move the rock so much I feel like I'm Steve Nash.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Director Diego, and I have a very special Final Cut Pro tutorial for you guys. This is the first celebrity hologram type effect tutorial for Final Cut Pro. This has never been done. I'm giving you guys the crazy sauce so you can wow your clients and charge more, make more money, get more clients, make your music videos stand out. I'm telling you guys, I'm giving you the sauce. If you like this effect, make sure to like and subscribe because I got a whole lot more sauce that I'm giving away to us Final Cut Pro editors. I also provide the tutorial for this exact same effect, except in After Effects. So make sure to check that out if you guys use After Effects. So without further ado, let's start from the very beginning. Let's fly through this. So I'm literally gonna delete all of this. We got our clip. I would highly suggest slowing down the clip on the part that you wanna do the effect on. So for example, boom, right when it slows down, then we have time and space to do the effect properly. So on our selected clip that you want to do the effect on, we're going to go and open up the magnetic mask tool. I selected a few points. The mask looks great. We're going to go up and press analyze. Boom, that's done. Easy peasy. You can refine the mask as you wish. With the feather, I'm going to bring it down. This looks way more cleaner. We'll just duplicate this clip. On the bottom clip, I'm going to delete the magnetic mask. Okay, so now we have a mask. If you select your bottom clip here and press V on your Mac keyboard, it's going to make it disappear. This is going to help a lot for editing. This is going to make your workflow faster and just make everything in general more easier. All right, so we got our mask. Now you can do this with any person in the world, any celebrity, anybody you want. All you have to do is go on Google, search the name of that celebrity, and beside that, put transparent PNG. Once you have the transparent PNG file, in this case, this artist in particular is talking about a basketball player, Steve Nash. That's why this effect is so good for hip hop music videos. It's gonna wow your clients, take your edits to the next level, and allow you to make more money. It's gonna spread. The word is gonna spread when people see these types of edits that have never been done before. I'm giving you guys the sauce, the extra sauce. So we got our transparent PNG file of Steve Nash, the basketball player. We're gonna drag it down in the timeline, cut off the excess fat. I wanna keep the layer on top because I just wanna animate it properly, right? So I'm gonna go and click the transform tool. Let's scale it down. We want it smaller than the subject because we want it to pop out from behind him like this, right? So it's gonna start off here. We're gonna keyframe our position, rotation, and scale at the very first frame. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 frames forward. I'm gonna move this and I'm gonna rotate it a little bit. Let's scale it up to how big you want it. Position it properly. Something like this is good. All right, perfect. Now from this frame moving forward all the way to the end, I kind of want him to rotate a little bit and with an easy, smooth movement, kind of like, you know what I mean? And you can actually right click on these points here and you can animate them, right? So that's the first point. Second point, just to ease the points in. The same way you do it on After Effects, this is how you do it on Final Cut Pro to ease the points, right? For the movement's sake. That's perfect. There you go. Right? I'm just gonna rename this layer Steve Nash. Let's put that below. What do we get? Perfect. All right, so now what we wanna do is put some motion blur under the whole Steve Nash layer. It just makes it look way better, guys. Motion blur is so essential for doing VFX, especially masking effects like this. So look at the difference now. Can't go wrong. Look at that. Perfect. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna highlight these layers right here, press V on my keyboard. Sometimes if you apply, for example, a glow, or you try to do a shine or anything on this layer, when you download them from Google, sometimes there's not enough space. Like the PNG file is literally just this. So the shine might go outside of the border and it's gonna look really bad. So let's just try doing our shine effect on here. So under the effects tab on the right hand side, you're gonna click blur. We're gonna drag the zoom blur and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. If I change the look from uniform to variable, you see that? This is what I'm talking about, the border of the PNG image. So what we're gonna have to do to fix that is highlight our Steve Nash layer, click new compound clip, and then just rename it again, Steve Nash. Now that it's a compound clip, there's no outline around it, so we don't have to deal with that problem. So we'll go back again, repeat the same process, drag in the zoom blur, change the look from uniform to variable, and there you go. Look at that, boom, problem solved. So we got a nice shine going on here. You can place this how you want. You can even keyframe the center but based on his movements, we might not need to. But if you really wanted to, you can keyframe the center and then animate the shine, right? So let's see how this looks. That's pretty cool. So now what we want to do is go to blend mode, change it from normal to screen, right? Sick. Now we're going to go under Steve Nash layer, press Command C on the Mac keyboard to copy, press Command V to paste. We're going to get our main layer, drag it below our shine layer. Let's rename this to shine so we don't get confused. And on our bottom layer, we're going to take out the zoom blur. There we go. Now you have this. That's looking sick so far. So what you can also do to sauce up this layer a little bit is you can add some glow to it. You know, if you're used to using After Effects and you just couldn't seem to find a good glow plugin for Final Cut Pro, such as Deep Glow, VR Glow, or even the built-in glow in After Effects, this is the solution for us Final Cut Pro editors. I made the best glow plugin for Final Cut Pro, and it's extremely easy to use. Drag and drop, adjust the settings, and that's it. My glow plugin is available on my website, which you can find in the description below. So once you have my glow plugin downloaded, we're gonna adjust the settings here now. So first thing I wanna do is raise the exposure because I want to see how this is going to look. If the exposure is all the way down, we're not going to be able to see what we're doing, right? So let's drag this all the way up. Let's bring the glow softness all the way up. You can adjust the glow size. I think that's a little too much. The tint color, we're going to raise up, and we're going to change the tint color to this kind of like purplish, pinkish, you know what I mean? Just to match Steve Nash's outfit. This is cool. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy. There you go. Then we're going to drag the glint size all the way up. That's dope. Look at that. Boom. Perfect. So if we re-enable our top layers here, we got the motion blur and the layer mask. Let's press V on our Mac keyboard. What do we have? Sick. And like I said, you can adjust this to your liking. It's all to your personal preference. So the effect is pretty much done here, guys. All we have to do now is add a distortion impact shake type effect. I guess you can even call it a liquid splash. There's not a particular name for this type of effect, but it's really popular. I know Asim Nawag, another VFX artist, created this distortion shake impact, you know, drag and drop type effect, and he has a ton of them on his website. Shout out to Asim Nawag, absolutely crushing the game, and he provides really cool plugins and assets for After Effects. Now the thing is, this distortion shake impact, there's not even one available for Final Cut Pro. So stay tuned, guys. I got the full pack coming for us Final Cut Pro editors. Now you can literally create your own distortion shake impact yourself. You're gonna need a couple of plugins that you'll have to purchase, such as my Director Diego Glow plugin, but also there's a couple more, and I'll show you that right now. So what we're gonna wanna do is go all the way to the left right here. We're gonna make sure that titles is selected. We're gonna drag an adjustment layer all the way down and make sure that it's one frame before the actual effect or clip starts. Let's chop off the excess fat here. A keyboard shortcut to do that would be having the layer selected, press Command B on your keyboard, press Command B again, cut off the excess fat, delete. If you guys don't have an adjustment layer, it's because it doesn't come with Final Cut Pro. If you go on YouTube, I'll drop the link in the description below. You can download a bunch of different adjustment layers for free. This is a free plugin, so make sure you have that downloaded. Once you have your adjustment layer on top, first thing we're going to do is go to a built-in effect that comes with Final Cut Pro, and it's called Underwater. Make sure you're selected under all, because sometimes people are selected on one effect by mistake, and then when they search up the plugin, they can't find it. That's because you have to be selected under all. Let's drag the Underwater plugin right here, and what it does is basically self-explanatory. This water type liquid effect is really cool, guys. So you can adjust this to your liking, how you want. I'm gonna start it right about here. I'm gonna keyframe the size and the refraction, and we're gonna press play and kind of feel this out. I can't just promise you an exact amount of frames to go by because it depends on the motion and the speed of your clip, but right there is good for me. So we're gonna drag the size up, and then we're gonna go a bit more down right here, drag the size all the way up, and refraction all the way down. Let's see what we get. Sick. That's perfect. The next thing we're gonna do is use an effect from Ryan Nangle, an extremely talented Final Cut Pro creator. I actually used to watch his tutorials all the time, and I've purchased a lot of his effects that he has available on his website. I'm also gonna drop the link in the description to that, so you can check out Ryan Nangle's effects and plugins for Final Cut Pro. Now this one that we're gonna need for this effect is called RN Shake. He has a bunch of different presets available, like handheld earthquake, handheld twisting, etc. But for this one in particular, we're gonna use the bounce. Now, if you look to the effects panel on the right, there's a bunch of different parameters that you can adjust, but I'm gonna leave it as is, because if you take a look at this bounce, it's perfect the way it is. There's no need to adjust it. Right? Look how sick that looks, guys. So we're nearly almost there. What we're gonna do now is go into my Director Diego glow. We're gonna add some glow to this. We're gonna drag the exposure all the way up because I wanna see what I'm doing. The glow softness is gonna go all the way up. We're gonna adjust the glow size, something like that. That's perfect. The tint color we're gonna raise up. And I'm gonna make it the same color as Steve Nash's outfit. Kind of this purplish, pinkish color to match his basketball uniform. Then what we're gonna do is keyframe the exposure. I can't promise you an exact amount of frames, like I said, just depends on the motion and the speed of your clip. Press play. That's about good right there. Let's see how that looks. Drag the exposure all the way down. I want it to go a little bit longer, so I'm gonna retime that. Down here should be good. That's perfect. Look at that, guys. Nuts. Like I said, this is the first effect of this kind. Nobody's ever given you a tutorial on how to do this type of sauce. Most editors haven't even thought about doing this type of effect. I'm giving you guys the special sauce for Final Cut Pro. So if you guys like what you see and you want to learn more advanced sauce like this that nobody else is doing to make your edits stand out, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I got a whole lot more coming for us Final Cut Pro editors. And the very last step you guys are gonna have to do for this is use another plugin. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to purchase this plugin, but I can assure you that it's well worth it because I use it in almost all my videos and it makes a huge difference. The plugin is called Smooth Camera Zoom Pro. I'm gonna drop the link in the description as well, so you guys can go grab that. And there's a bunch of different settings you can use, zoom in and out. But for this in particular, we're gonna make sure that's under ramped 4K, and we're only gonna zoom out. I'm gonna chop up our clip to adjust the length, chop off the excess fat there. We're gonna feel this out, see how it looks. Perfect. We're gonna go up to the right hand side over here, click the little T, which is the title inspector, and we're gonna change the zoom in amount to even more zoomed. And let's make the zoom in come out maybe from around here. That's good. The only other thing I want to adjust as well is the zoom blur amount to roughly around there. There's no specific number. It just depends on your personal preference. Let's take a look here and see the final product. Oh my God. Oh my God. Once you add some sound effects to this, it's game over, guys. I guarantee when you do this effect properly, when your client sees the video and sees this effect, they're gonna go absolutely nuts, and it's gonna help take your edits to the next level, get more clients, charge more money, make more money. It's a no-brainer, guys. This is the final product. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I got a whole lot more Final Cut Pro and After Effects tutorials coming your way. Not just regular tutorials, I'm giving you guys the advanced sauce, the secret sauce.